Hello and welcome everyone to the series Quranic Word Roots by Ibn Firnas Muslim Student Association. This is episode 2 of the series after the introduction that we had in the last episode. This will be our first lesson where we will explain the root alaha. A bit of an introduction here. The root alaha is the most recurrent root in the Quranic text. As mentioned in the first episode, its derivations constitute 2,851 words of the Quran. And no wonder it's that important in the Quranic text because it relates directly to divinity. Now, let's talk about the word Allah first. Some scholars scholars have a disagreement in the origin of the word Allah. Some say that it's not derived, and some say that it is. Those who say that it's not derived say that it's a name or a noun in and of itself. It is not derived from any root, so it has no roots. So that's for that opinion. The other opinion, the scholars who say that it's derived, they have four opinions, meaning they say that it can come from either one of four roots. And these roots are from right to left, alaha, aliha, laha, and walaha. So these are the roots that it may be derived from. Now let's get into each one of these roots and explain them. The first one, alaha, means to worship. So worshipping here means to be humble and submissive and to resign and surrender oneself to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, of course. Some derivations of this root are on the right, ya'la means to worship. It's the continuous form of the verb. And then to the left, ilah, which means God. But this is not specific to Allah. So ilah can be used to describe any god, false gods. The second root, aliha, can mean either to be perplexed, or to long for, or to seek refuge at. If we apply this to our context, we would say that minds become perplexed by the greatness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We long for Him and seek His refuge. The third root, laha, means to be hidden. And of course, Allah is hidden from eyesight, and He sees all of us, all of the time, indeed. And the last root is walaha, and it means to seek refuge at. And of course, we all seek Allah's refuge. So, by summing up the meanings of these roots, we can think of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as the one who we are submissive and humble to. He is the one we long for and the one whom we seek His refuge. All of that while He is hidden from eyesight, subhanahu wa ta'ala. And furthermore, when we think about the shahada, we can think about these meanings as well. So when we say La ilaha illallah, we can think that we are submissive to Allah and only Allah, and we long for Him and only Him. We seek His refuge and only His, all while He subhanahu wa ta'ala is hidden from eyesight. Now, the derivations of these roots in the Quran have three forms. On the upper right, you can see ilah, which means God. On the upper left, you can see ilahan, which means two gods. And then at the bottom, you can see aliha, which means gods. It's the plural of ilah, God. So in the Quran, these are the forms where you will find the derivation of these roots. Now, let's go to some examples to contextualize what we've just said. So for example, in this verse, Allah says, subhanahu wa ta'ala, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, وَإِلَهُكُمْ إِلَهٌ وَاحِدٌ لَا إِلَهَ إِلَّا هُوَ الرَّحْمَنُ الرَّحِيمُ. As you can see, it's highlighted in red here that إِلَهُكُمْ, إِلَهٌ, and إِلَه are what concerns us here. These are the derivations of the roots that we just talked about. So the first one is ilahukum, that means your God, and your here is meant to be plural. The kum at the end is a pronoun. Another example, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, فراغ إلى آلهتهم فقال ألا تأكلون. So as you can see here, this is the plural form, آلهتهم, and it means their gods. Another example, أرأيت من اتخذ إلهه هواه أفأنت تكون عليه وكيلا. إلهه here is what concerns us, and it means his God. The ha at the end is the pronoun. So this is a bit of an exercise here. I will give you a couple of seconds to think about what the derivations of the roots are here. And let's go to the answer. إنما إلهكم الله الذي لا إله إلا هو وسع كل شيء علما. So as you can see, إلهكم and إله are the derivations we're seeking. إلهكم is your God. Another exercise, and let's go to the answer. قال أراغب أنت عن آلهتي يا إبراهيم لئن لم تنته لأرجمنك واهجرني مليا. آلهتي, my gods, and the pronoun is at the end as always. So these are further verse examples. You can use them to exercise a bit, and just like in the first episode, these are the sources. They will be in the description as well, inshallah. If you want to check them out, please feel free to do so. Finally, thank you for your attention and stay safe.